it is clear Mexico has advised that their investigation is complete. They have identified a suspect. That suspect is currently out free in the United States of America.
They want a diplomatic intervention for the State Department to either take over the murder investigation entirely or to extradite their daughter's alleged killer to Mexico.
Conservative life on Mars, because we are living in strange times. I wanted to circle back and give you an update on the Shanquilla Robinson story. This is a minor update, but basically her attorneys, the attorneys that are representing the parents of Shanquella, have sent Joe Biden and Secretary of State Antony Blinken a letter asking them for their help because they're not getting a lot of answers out of the Mexican government, and the FBI is not saying anything either. Also, with that letter is a copy of the autopsy report, the official autopsy report, and something brand new, and a personal account from a concierge for that particular villa. This is a person that is more or less like a butler who is supposed to be on call for the people at that villa. He can give you a personal account of what happened up until the time that he left and what happened after finding out that they needed a doctor to come to the villa, which is very interesting on his perspective and what happened. And if you've also heard about, Shanquilla's friends were laughing, he is the one that made that statement. Both of these accounts are very, very interesting. What I find pretty interesting in the paperwork that's being sent to the government officials they are all in English. You may say, well, yeah, of course. But this was officially written in Mexico. So I would also think that they would send the official Mexican account written in Spanish, as well as maybe whatever might be a translated version. Because, as you know, there could be things lost in translation, and I think it would be good to send both accounts. Two, when you read it, you can sort of tell that it's being translated because of, if you're a native English speaker, the phraseology is just a little different. But it's pretty interesting on everything that's being said. Now, as far as the letter itself that is being sent to Biden and to Secretary of State Blinken, it basically says, there's a statement in here that I think is so important. If a U.S. citizen commits homicide in Mexico and returns back to the United States, as you are aware, they can face criminal charges in the United States under federal law or state law, depending on the circumstances of the crime. If these attorneys did not feel that this crime did not reach up to that level to be charged by state law or federal law, they wouldn't have put it in this letter. So the question is, why isn't that step being taken right now? This is an absolute ridiculous amount of time for this to happen. Now, I understand Mexico has its own laws on how they do things, and a lot of things are kept secret because of the cartels and a lot of other things, but still, there should be something happening with going on with this. Now, something else that's very poignant that is also pointed out in this letter is that the family attorney, Sue Ann Robinson, has tried to go on a fact-finding trip for the family and was advised by a member of the United States Consular Corps in Mexico that if the family was seeking information, then they should reach out to the group that left Mexico, that left the dead body and ran off from Mexico back to the United States. That would be her so-called friends. This is ridiculous. You all allowed these people to escape after you find out this woman has passed away. Mexican authorities allowed these people to escape and leave the country. this is ridiculous how this is all playing out. So it's like they're trying not to take any kind of responsibility for their hand in allowing this travesty to continue. So, I mean, this is what we need to do right now is to fill up the social media accounts, every social media account for all the congressional folks in North Carolina. Fill up their social media accounts, write letters, constantly bombard them as to what are they going to do with this, and let's get this adjudicated and taken care of. Now, if you go into what the concierge said here, he basically said that it's really not even being reported that when Shanquella joined the crowd in there, she looked like she was separate from everybody else. She didn't look in a party spirit, which is fairly interesting. And from there, this concierge, was in direct contact with Dejanay from even before they came to the villa. He states that he text messaged her, or they were in text message proximity, and she let him know that she wanted to go shopping, this and that, and they exchanged times so he could be there waiting for the party to come. And he stayed there till they had dinner. And then the next day, he gets a text message from Dejanay saying that they need medical services. Then he goes on to say that he spoke to the doctor. The doctor said that Shanquella was okay and just needed an IV. Of course, this is in direct contradiction to what the medical report, the autopsy states. And the autopsy is very clear about how everything went down. Now, something that I will say is this. I kind of wished the family, before they put her in the ground, had contracted an American forensic pathologist just to confirm everything what the Mexican counterparts said. This is not strange. This is done all the time in high-profile cases. This happened with Casey Anthony's, Kaylee Anthony. The remains were autopsied, I think, twice in that case. So it's not unheard of to do, and a lot of times, especially some of these high-profile forensic pathologists, Dr. Bodden, Sarah Weck, Dr. G down in Florida, who had her own TV show, they do these things pro bono a lot of the time. So money, I don't think, would be an issue. It would just be a point of helping the family out. So again, please, get these papers, get these documents, read it for yourselves. And let's start jamming up all the social medias for all these North Carolina congressmen and women, senators, House of Representatives. Let's really start putting the pressure on Joe Biden and Secretary of State Antony Blinken. This has got to come to a conclusion soon. This is Conservative Life on Mars, where we're living in strange times. Please let me know, am I blowing smoke, or let me know how you feel.